Hello, beautiful soul. Dr. Andrea here. Did you know that I am a little bit of a tech gadget geek? Well, it's true. I wear the Oura ring, I use the Apollo Neuro, and I recently have been experimenting with neurofeedback using the mind mirror. And I was really excited to be introduced to the Muse S. Now, I've been following this as a more economical and simple way to do neurofeedback. The program that I'm trained in requires a little bit more technical expertise. This one, you simply put on the headband, listen to the audio instructions, and away you go. Now, I will say I will do an in-depth review of the Muse S as I use it. So far, the only thing that I've used it for is just trying out the guided meditations to track heart rate, body movement, and concentration or calm. And there is this one being the Muse S. S is for sleep. This one you can also wear at night, and it will tell you about body movement, heart rate, brain activity, whether you're getting deep sleep, which I think in combination with the Oura ring and the Apollo Neuro, which has sleep settings, I'll be very curious to see what happens. So one of the reasons why I was curious to try this out is, again, one, because it's simpler than the mind mirror and it's much more economical. So for my clients and students who, might want to practice meditation with feedback, but can't afford some of the expensive ones, I was curious to see how it would work. I will say that one of the things I love about the mind mirror that the Muse doesn't have is the mind mirror will tell you all of the brainwave frequencies that you're getting into. So you're hearing sounds to give you the neurofeedback of when you're getting into a certain brainwave pattern, but you can see the alpha, beta, delta, theta, gamma. So the reporting with the Muse will show you various levels of heart rate, body movement, whether you're in a calm or focused state of being, which for me, actually, I liked it. It's a different sounding neurofeedback, so you can have little birds chirping. One of them has kind of the noise of wind and rain. And so because I am a novelty seeker, I love novelty, it was interesting for me to try it. Even though I've been meditating since my 20s, I regularly do neurofeedback, but because it's a new system and I had to train my brain to get into the calm state, not overreact when I heard the birds, which is supposed to be a sign of calm. It could excite you. So for me, I found it actually very interesting and motivating. Also, because they've kind of gamified it. In the app, you can see how many minutes you've meditated. You can get on a streak. It'll tell you how many birds have landed. So the feedback that you also get, not just in the session, but about your progress, I find is something that would also motivate me to keep using it. And I actually took it on the plane when I was flying to America, since it was a 10-hour flight. I thought, all right, let's see if I can use the Muse to get into a calm state, to hopefully sleep and take advantage of the long flight. And nobody looked at me too strangely. But so it is a little bit easier to use than my fancy schmancy mind mirror, which needs to be hooked up to a computer and you need to have no distracting electronics around. I don't know about the exact specificity of the Muse in terms of its EEG capabilities, but I think what is, straight across the board legit is one of the sensors that's looking at heart rate, and that sort of correlates well with the Oura ring. So I will continue to share my feedback as I do more of the meditations. Within the app, there's some very basic guidelines that will instruct you how to calibrate, how to figure out the positioning of the Muse. And then for purchase, there are some more advanced courses with some well-known and some new names of meditation guides. So, there is stuff for purchase. There is stuff that is for free. You can also listen to the guided meditations in the app without having the headband if you wanted to just get a feel for their sense of guided meditations. So the next thing that I'm going to do is try it sleeping and see what kind of data I get back. But so far, so good. If you're curious to know about the top 10 benefits that I got out of practicing neurofeedback for an entire year, there is a blog post on the Innate Vitality magazine. And please be sure, if you want to try out the Muse yourself, there's a 10% coupon that they've generously given to me. I do receive a tiny kickback if you buy off of my link, and that helps to support the channel. So thank you if you do. But if you're curious about it, it's an economical and simple way to encourage you to do more meditation. As a physician, I recommend everyone do some sort of meditation and mindfulness practice, for the body and the brain benefits, and also just to move yourself forward in your conscious evolution journey. So if you try it out, let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you later. Bye for now.